Hi there, it's John Anthony Francis Wilcox, and today is Saturday, the 28th of August, 2021. So, interesting replies to last week's um, video, so I thank you for the people that got in touch, and interesting. Um, let's see, to talk about today, first let me tell you about two dreams I had. Both were very unusual. I had one several days ago. I was riding in a station wagon, and my dad was driving, and my mom was in it too. And we were in some version of Pennsylvania because my mom wanted to see her brother, my Uncle Pete. So we were evidently there, and Uncle Pete came out, and mom was talking about how she wanted to ride on top of a tornado. I don't know why, but that was what she wanted. So it never happened, but there was talking about that. And on the ride there, sometimes there was snow all over the place and sometimes there wasn't. So the weather was varying. Because it's a dream and it can do that. So that was one night. And last night, oh, and I should say, at the end of that dream, it switched over for a bit to another dream, and it was about celebrities. I know there were like some of the royal family, and there was Ben Affleck. And what they were all doing is it was a new celebrity trend that they were living underwater, like in their houses. And they'd have like this much airspace. And I remember seeing Ben Affleck like kind of like this with his eyes closed and then with his eyes open. And then he'd like pop his head up above the water line and breathe some like out of the side of his mouth and then go back down. No clue what that means. But it's an interesting preface for last night's even more bizarre dream. So it was set, I would say, outside of where I used to live here in the court, back in the other configuration before they rebuilt everything, when I lived at number 40 for many years. And outside, right sort of the gutter between the yard and the street, there was about a 8 to 10 foot wide by 5 to 6 foot high by about 4 foot deep fish tank filled with water. Sometimes it had little fish on the bottom and sometimes it didn't. But who it did have is it had in the water Stephen Colbert in a black suit with a black tie, and he would be swimming around in there, and then he'd look at the front and he'd hold up like a can of soda and open it, and it would go all through the water. Like once it was a can of Coke, and then I think it was either 7 Up or ginger ale. And the last thing was, I'm going to use this again, was like a long can about this long, and which if it's I don't know if this is all showing up in camera, but about a foot and a half long, and it had a part that was like a ball in the can, and you'd push down on the ball, and orange juice would come out of it. So he was doing that, and while he was doing that, Britney Spears and Katy Perry were talking to me, asking me where they could get to the nearest McDonald's, and it was evidently in a straight line up at the end of the street originally. Plus, it was where it is now, which is sort of that way but further, like a mile and a half, maybe 2 miles. And wanted to know what other fast food places were down the street from there. Um, Strange dream. What does it mean? I don't know. Meanwhile, I've also, let me grab something, pardon me for turning my head. We're going to play a little show and tell while I'm here. I've been going through stuff that I need to review, and I'm going to do a little reorganizing. And there's also stuff that I've already reviewed, which I'll start with this. Um, I think early this year or late last year, I had already reviewed this live Linda Ronstadt album, which is fabulous. If you like Linda Ronstadt, as I do, I think she has a brilliant voice. And these two very recent, beautiful remasters of My Sister from Another Mister, Toya Wilcox, her first two albums. So those are what I have reviewed. What I did is I just made MP3s of all of these and put them onto this so that I can sit and plug it in and listen to some stuff as I lay down and relax in my bedroom. I will also listen through headphones for sound quality and things like that. But so what do we got here? This was a band, I had to figure out what the heck the name of the band was, but they are called Head with Wings, and this is an EP called Comfort in Illusion, which I'm going to guess is not happy. And here is a beautiful box set of a 50th anniversary Renaissance concert that has two CDs and then a DVD and a Blu-ray of the same performance, with Jim McCarty sitting in on that. This is an EP from a woman named Priscilla the Outlaw that she sent that to me. She found me on LinkedIn and said, "Can I send you this?" I said, "Sure." Here is a promo album from a band called Sindone called Kama Sutra. We've got the latest Blackmore's Night, which is Nature's Light, which I'm late in getting to review this, but we're getting there. This is some band called The Far Cry, If Only. These are a pair of new Black Sabbath remasters from the days with Ronnie Dio as vocalist. Heaven and Hell and The Mob Rules. What else we got? I'm so looking forward to this. This is the new Amanda Lehman, called Innocence and Illusion. Amanda, first heard her playing with Steve Hackett. She's a brilliant guitarist, a great songwriter, and she has a wonderful, beautiful voice. And might I add, she is one of the nicest people I've ever met. She's fabulous. I adore her. Now we got here a band called Zero Times Everything, The Sound of Music. It's interesting. It's two CDs. CD 1 is called Black Hole, and CD 2 is called White Hole. So we got that. And then another one I've been late catching up to, but it's probably going to be the first one of these I work on, which is the remaster of Jethro Tull's A album from 1980. I listened to some bits already. This is fabulous. It's 3 CDs and 3 DVDs, so there's a lot of stuff. But it's going to be great. It's got a fantastic book in it, and it's just spectacular stuff to be had. So that's a little show and tell for you. There's a few dreams for you. Other than that, I had some hip problems with my right hip. I had a wonderful conversation yesterday with my friend Mark Sinnott. That was great. Talked with some other folks during the week. My friend Ari got back home, yay, and she's doing much better. So happy to hear that. My friend Suzanne got accepted for some college next spring. That's going to be great for her. And just lots of stuff. So if I haven't mentioned you, even I have mentioned you, let me hear from you again. I love you all. Get in touch. Be in touch. See you next week. Bye-bye.